Canadian talk.
What a do. We back. Quarter century in podcast episodes, episode 25. We are here. So, what's been going on? Sorry about that. Cleaning off the mic, sawdust on it. You know, what's been going on? We've missed the last 2 weeks' episodes because since I don't know what it is, if it's advertising or what, but I haven't been able to keep up with the furniture sales, so I've just been doing that. So if you want to get yourself a kitchen island or a coffee table, hit the email. Because we got tables. They're selling like hotcakes. I've been too busy making tables, so that's pretty much why I skipped the last 2 weeks. I've been pretty busy. What else? No beer on the episode today, so I guess we don't have anyone to thank. No Great Western. Nobody to thank. I'm doing a no drinking in February, so that's what I'm doing. It's like +5 today, +6. Last episode was minus 55, so that's honestly 60 degrees Celsius difference. I get. It's unfair that I even live here, to be honest. That's what every person who lives in this area. Well, it's, the thing is there's no bugs, which is always nice. I don't like bugs. A lot of people don't like bugs. I was in Cuba once, and I swear I have pictures of cockroaches the size of my hand, like. And then in my resort room there was like lizards attacking the cockroach colony that lived in the bathroom. So. Yeah, that's what's been going on. But here, welcome here. This is Canadian Talk, where we talk about things that are funny. We talk about news. We talk about news in the slowest, most arduous, uneducated way possible. No, if I had to tell you why to listen to this show, my answer would be if you are sick, if you're sick, if you have cancer, listen. No. If you're sick of like the mainstream media, let's say, and how they don't really cover anything in a real way, you can tell that they're just trying to flare people up. This is kind of what is the next step from that. This is like radio. Like, this is what you could listen to, every day on your way to work, if you know how to work a smartphone, which unfortunately most people do, not everybody, but this is kind of the next wave where you can get somebody talking about the things you're interested in who isn't gonna fucking twist the stories, So what's been going on in the comedy world? What's been going on in my world? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of carpentry, making tables, which is good. Making tables, writing jokes. The weather's warmed right up, which is nice. Been kind of doing a little bit of yard maintenance. Honestly, another thing this show is for is it's just company. I like to have guests on, but I honestly, I don't. Well, it's a lot of energy coordinating with people, and a lot of times people, everybody has their own vision for what they want to do, you know. I have some good guests coming up, but mostly this is going to be solo comedy, which brings me into some interesting things. Off a slow start like that, if you're still with me already, good for you. You know, I've got a few people that I've been having mix-ups with that they don't think that podcasting counts as comedy, and I think that that's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I did this one post on the internet, and got some haters. I really just disagree with that so much, that you could think that podcasting isn't comedy. It's the same thing. Just because, like, don't be jealous. Just because there's no audience that's in front of me, and I don't have to ride their pace, I can ride my own pace. That doesn't matter, you know. This is still speaking. So yeah, I've been running into a lot of the older class, just a couple of years older, who are like, I don't know if they're jealous of the process, like they think that you don't have to go through the grind. I know that with it's like a training process, right? Like, you have to be refined to a certain point before you're able to hold the audience's attention on a live show. I get that, but we have computers now. So if you don't like the slow starts that podcasters get into, you fucking click your mouse 15 minutes into the show and you start listening once the engine gets revved up. Like, Jesus. So, alrighty then. So, yeah, but some of the haters may or may not run some of the comedy clubs in this city. It's very frustrating to see that type of yeah. And the other thing too is, you don't have to be soft when you have a podcast. You don't have to be soft. That I'm so, one of the problems was yeah, these guys, it's sad to see, because not that our, like, okay, this is Saskatchewan, right? It's not like we're the epicenter of anything. We have 1 million people on however big the entire fucking province is. There's nobody here. We are in the permafrost. So it's not like we have the people who, I don't even know what kind of a person has a comedy club in a place like this. I'm sure there's some good ones. And I know some good ones, but there's also some not so good ones. And that's just too bad, you know. Yeah, that's my point though, is speaking, you know, this in front of this is as much comedy as that is. They're just, what am I missing? Please tell me what I'm missing. Because did I already say that I'm not drinking this month? Yeah. Not drinking alcohol anyway. Still need to drink fluids. Stay hydrated. Okay, so we got so comedy news. That was a 10 minutes of nothing. So comedy news, Chris D'Elia and Brian Callen are back. They're two big American comics who were kind of canceled a little bit. And now that the left masses have been appeased with the proper left leader, a few of these right-wing guys who were kind of starting to get held hostage by the civil unrest in a way, and some of their failures. Like, you know, so Chris D'Elia is a great comic from those places down there. He his thing is he cheated on his fiance a bunch at comedy shows and all that. Some people were speculating that people he cheated with were less than 18, but he says that, watch his clip. It's on the internet. It's called "It's Been a While." I think I've posted it in a few places already, but yeah, he talks about how, a little bit about how what he went through with kind of having the world turn on him. And Brian Callen, I think, went through a lot of the same thing. Just essentially guys who have sex a lot, but Callen, I don't know enough about him. I think he's single now, but Dalia had a fiance, and I think they stayed together, but I think he cheated a lot while he was with her. And, I'm not a cheating apologist. Cheating isn't good. You break up if you're cheating. I'm just saying that, that's what happened with those guys, but they're making a comeback. They're back. They're back on the internet. They're doing podcasts and that kind of shit, which is great. Okay, can this stool find a level position, please? That might be level. Okay, we're level. The interesting thing about this is I want to talk, like, what I love so much about podcasting too is, and this is what, okay, and you want to talk about, okay, so I've already explained all the things that makes live better, right? You got to keep up with the audience. You got to be this and that type of sharp. You got to deal with anxiety to be in front of crowds. But podcasting, like, I got a little paper in front of me. There's like nothing written on it though. Podcasting is mostly off the cuff, and that is what makes it almost even more special than music in a way, because music, you play it, it's repetitive, right? It's maximum, like Freebird is what, 8 minutes long, 12 minutes long, and then she's Dunsky, and then you gotta listen to it again and again. With podcasting, it's not like that. It's improv, and it's you really get to see, if you want to, you get to have a relationship with whoever. It's not vlogging. It's not vlogging, because this is, I know that vloggers nowadays, it's meant to be performative as well. I get all that bullshit. Every show is different. But this is, comedy podcasts are pure, especially when it's solo. Like Theo Von, I'm telling, he's not, that's kind of what's going on. Like, that's who I look to. But I'm trying to, that's what this is. It's a one-on-one. It's a security risk at the end of the day. It's overexposure. That was something I was thinking about talking about. I'm glad it came to mind. That's what I mean. I love when things come to mind retroactively like that. The Circle, that's that movie with the girl from Harry Potter, Hermione, and Tom Hanks. Is there an overexposure point when it's just communication like this? You're just sitting in front. Oh, that was a nice little blow up. A little fire popped at me. When you're just faced, this isn't overexposure. Because, to me, it's an anonymous location. It's an anonymous person, essentially. You don't know if it's my real name. You don't know anything. It's just entertainment, education. That's what it is. And so that's not overexposure. That's Star Trek shit. It's putting education on the internet. It's putting teaching on the internet so that teachers, unfortunately, I know teachers don't need more competition, but what it can do is it'll make their students smarter, so it's easier to teach them, because they'll just have these little teachers in their houses talking to them, giving them, communication skills and logic skills. It's like Star Trek, though. Those fucking guys the young Spocks. You know, that race or whatever, that species, how they live in those bubbles and they have screens all over, and they learn through audio and visual like stuff, kind of like VR or whatever. But this is the same thing. It's like 2D VR. This is VR education for the auditory learner. You know. Yeah. That's what podcasting has on stand-up comedy. Unfortunately it does render stand-up a little bit obsolete. Not obsolete, but like it's just the next stage of it. And also what it is though, what it can be, it can be on the Rogan side too, where it's like it's preachy. It's almost like a religion where there is it's like the podcast or the person that you listen to, that you choose from the internet, they are like a funnel for information, and you can kind of, a lot of people would say it's negative, like it's like an echo chamber, but it's not though. You'll still see all the other things on your feed, but your main opinions on what's going on can be refined, and then it's almost like just an extra little step of refinement to your opinions, and it makes it quicker, and it honestly, it makes thinking a lot easier. It's like thinking through things. It's kind of like a shortcut to having opinions on a lot of complex topics. So, yeah. So what's going on though that's even Canadian? I mean, I was going to come in with a mask on. I got my hat, but yeah, Corona's kind of starting to come to a halt. They got vaccines everywhere. Once things warm up here, I think this should be hopefully the end of it. There's death rates that are good. Yeah, the variants. Everybody's afraid of the variants, but I know that they're weaker. Like they should be weaker, right? But I'm no medical person, so whatever on that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I've been just blabbering now. Jeez, it's only been 20 minutes. It feels like it's been 40, but it's been pretty dense. I guess it kind of got a little dense there, didn't it? Yeah. Oh, by the way, so this is the kind of shit I'm selling here. I like to give these away. Have a nice poop. They're like little comedic signs that I sell on the website. And then I make islands and stools and coffee tables and stuff. But yeah, business has been good. So if you want one of those, hit me up on the email. You can also find me on Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace and that kind of stuff. Which I was thinking about that. It's kind of interesting because I make a little bit of side money selling some tables. And I've been thinking about what I depend on for that income. And it's like, ultimately, should a person have to pay taxes when they do that? Yes, they should. You pay your taxes when you buy your wood and stuff. And then there's income taxes. But really, like, the involvement is you drive on the road to go and get your wood, right? So you're using infrastructure. You're in a city, so you're close to the hardware store. That's infrastructure. So there's all that would be why there's income tax involved. But that is really, really, when it's just a person making furniture out of their shop, it's really tough to understand why you have to pay the full scale income tax. But it also makes sense. What was the other thing I was going to say? So what is it dependent on? Because ultimately, I have, advertising, right? Like through this and things like that. For the tables and such. But it's like also most of the sales come through Facebook Marketplace. And Kijiji though, there's honestly not a lot less traffic on the furniture sales. So sorry, this is boring to anybody. I mean, if anybody's interested though, like this, we're just talking about free market system here at its guerrilla micro level. For people who don't like to, if you're not employable, like there's so many ways. The greatest ways to make money is people who just have internet sites and make stuff. If you can make enough to survive, you gotta fucking do that. And because you can, you make stuff that people like. It's an amazing exchange. It can sometimes be labor intensive, but make sure you pick the right thing to make. Don't pick something that's not highly repeatable. Which Yeah, look at my Facebook Marketplace commerce profile. You'll see these all the tables I sell. Just talking about fucking tables today. So what else is going on? Like what stand up versus podcast? That is really what is everybody has podcasts. Like I'm well aware that I'm nobody. I'm well aware of that. It takes time though. Just like how that's just like how when you have a shit job. And I'm not saying okay, just because I found other ways of making money that aren't, mainstream jobs. That doesn't mean that I don't understand the process that is involved in the mainstream jobs and how you start at the bottom. Like, I did that too, and I'm not just complaining because, I just rode the bottom for a little while. I had certain intermediate jobs and things like that, and I had good jobs. Ultimately, what was so frustrating for me as a person with employment was, I guess, all the interpersonal relationships you have to manage with the people that you work with. And then there'll be people that you can tell it's like, hey, this person isn't healthy. They have an unhealthy way. And I understand, like, you can work with, I had another good blowout there. I understand you can work with people and you don't have to like them, and you can be polite and that kind of stuff. But what if they fuck with you? And I have some stories from my jobs that are like, where I had people that I know they just didn't like me. And then all of a sudden they start to fuck with you by screwing around with you at work. Like making your work be messed up because of some subpar thing that they did, and then lied about doing that subpar thing. I think that's the problem with the job, is that you have to deal with that. And then what do you got to do? You got to go to a manager and explain that this blah blah blah, and maybe this person's been there for 15 years, you've been there for 1 year. It's hard to get off the bottom as a jobber. I get that. So either way, it's crazy hard. Just like me right now, I get 1,000 views on an episode. That's nothing. I get 10 new followers in a week. That's, by the way, I'm at 100 followers. That's pretty awesome on Facebook anyway, but there's a long way to go. It's such a long way to go. That's crazy though. Like Daniel, he's a guy we had on. He's a political pundit. He's got like 100,000 followers. Like, well, there's like on different platforms throughout, but let's just call it 20,000. That's so much. It makes you, when I was younger and I saw all the different people building followings, I didn't properly process what it was. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a huge part of the next stage of people's lives in marketing whatever they're doing, and having people think they're credible, because people are going to have to be able to verify all your opinions, and things are going to have to be out there. The other thing I forgot to continue with was talking about the circle. I was just talking about overexposure and how I don't feel that this is an overexposure. I feel that this is sociology. This is therapy in a way. This is comedy in a way. This is education. That's what it is. And, you can make algorithms to go through this stuff now based on any number of things. And that's how you figure out what to put in front of kids' faces. If it was, let's say, I'm back on the Star Trek thing, but let's say this type of communication was eventually to be used to refine teaching, where a kid can literally sit in front of and click, 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 and watch all these different teachers at his own disposal talk and about any topic. That is the next stage of education, because we're forced to go to one place. We got to go to a building every day and listen to one person talk about these old ass books. Like that's just stupid. How about just watch a podcast from a guy who's already done the 40 years of education, and I understand it's important to learn the fundamentals. That's important. Elementary school education is important, and building social connection and being able to go there in person and talk to people and meet people and things like that. But after that, you can really speed up the process of what is learned in high school, especially because most kids don't learn a fucking thing in high school anyway. They take a bunch of classes that do nothing. So, like, it's not the class's fault. The classes aren't shit. Like music class, I'm not saying music class is shit. I'm not saying art class is shit. I'm saying that compared to listening to somebody, and I'm not that person yet, right? Like, I'm just starting, but like, if you can pick the exact person that you want to listen to, and you can, I'm not promoting cultish behavior or anything like that, like following one thing everything that one person says. But I am suggesting that having a podcast that is your peak, podcasts can be a valuable tool for bringing in information, which is probably something I talk about on every episode. But yeah, nothing's really going on in Canadian politics. Everybody wants Corona to be over, including me, but whatever. I don't have any controversial topics. Like, I am not an anti-masker, but I'm literally sick of that shit. I want it to be summer again, so that, like, the arguments really only hold in winter. And it's just, God, like, I've been talking with some other people that I debate with about, like, likening masks to, like, gang signs. I know that it's just a political gang sign, which has never really been considered to be too... It's not considered by mainstream intellectuals to be inflammatory. It's just something that you're allowed to be proud of, is your political opinions. Even down to extremists. But I'm kind of starting to agree that it creates division, it creates segregation, people walking around with the masks and stuff like that, but whatever. There's been all kinds of bits people have written on that. So I've got some more lists and shit on my shit. Gotta find them though. Hold on. This is where it'd be great to have a producer. But my producer, they'll probably be in downloads, yeah. I had a producer at one point, but I'm just, now that I'm making tables, baby, maybe I can afford a producer in a year, maybe in 6 months. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a producer. It's nice to have somebody in the room with you, because, like, I'm here by myself right now. Sometimes somebody will come in, like a friend or whatever. I think you've all seen that on previous episodes, or I'll have a guest. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a person who, like a producer or whatever for the show. I'll maybe do that one if I can afford it, or if I can find somebody who'll want to do it for free. Again, because the other one I was doing was kind of for free, but so downloads. That's what I'm trying to click on, and then you know what? That's all disorganized too. So what I'll just do is go to the root email, and then there is a paper. Yeah, so there's things going on in the world, not just comedy things. Now that we've talked about comedy for 30 fucking minutes. Texas. Texas is all freezing. Everybody, I think this is my opinion on that. I'm sad for everybody who thinks it's a disaster, but is it not? I believe it is. A bunch of Californians went up there. They say as much as like 300,000, 500,000. So those people they just don't. Maybe they got shitty houses. They got tricked by Texans into buying shitty houses, and they don't know how to live through snow. So that was their problem. They didn't know when to turn off their water. They didn't know, hey, maybe take a vacation during this week, the one cold week of the year. But, like, that's all it is a bunch of people who don't know how to live in that weather. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I had a 60-degree temperature shift. You don't see me having any problems. I know that our houses are built differently, but if I knew that the temperature was going to be below freezing, I would know to turn off my water supply, this and that. I would know to throw a fucking a heater, propane. Like that exists. The power outage was only 70 hours. So yeah, like what the fuck? What else, you know? Yeah, nothing interesting in Canadian politics, really. Trudeau's still doing nothing as usual. That pipeline's canceled. Nobody's talking about that anymore. Trump's disappeared to an island. What else? Jeff Bezos. I'm just going to go through my list here and just kind of hit some things. Or maybe I should put the list away and just kind of improv. Let me see if there's anything interesting on here. McGregor lost. I think I talked about that on the last episode. Morgan Wallen, he's a country singer. He had a bit of a racist incident. If you hadn't seen it, there's videos online. He said the N-word on his front lawn. So I guess somebody was videotaping his front lawn, and I couldn't believe how small his house was. I was like, he lives in a fucking duplex? Or that's where he was just sleeping for the night or whatever. But yeah, he said the N-word and they caught it on camera. But then all of a sudden, apparently his ticket sales are surging. So I don't know what you want to say about that. So I posted a funny letter that I saw that about Trump scolding the Screen Actors Guild. What else? Man, there's let's see what else I got on these lists here for anyone. There's nothing else. I'm gonna go no list. I'm gonna check this last list. Oh man. Oh. So that would be a moment right there where if this was stand-up, I understand that anybody who's a stand-up and might have clicked to this moment and seen that where I was stretching, they might be like, oh, that wouldn't fly in front of an audience, bucko. And I agree, kind of. They would throw a fucking tomato at me. But that's also what makes the audience know that what I'm doing right now is more genuine than what you're doing. Unfortunately. So, jeez, that felt like a Smackdown. 35 minutes in and there goes the Smackdown. God. I've been having a lot of memories of my childhood lately. Like, I've been thinking about, like, my first school dances. Man, I know that there's about 30 women out there right now who have me on social media who I was in grade 6. This wasn't even a school dance. This was one of the girls from school had a dance in her garage. She had a big garage. And I guess I was the only guy who showed up, and there was about 22 girls there. And so this wasn't my first dance either. I had been to camp, and there was dances at the camp and shit. So I was a pretty experienced dancer. What can I say? I knew how to hold the side of their waist about this far away and just go like this. That's about all you were doing. And yeah, that was a fun experience having that little dance. All the little ladies from the neighborhood liked me after that one. I think at least that's what my mom told me. But yeah, then there. What else is there? Like my first school dance. The school ones from school. There was one in grade 8. There's one in grade 7. I think the dance actually they allow grade 6s, 7s, and 8s to go to the dance, and you know, I remember the basketball rule or the 1 meter rule where they said stay 3 feet apart when you're dancing. And even though our arms were basically 3 feet fucking long. No, wait, I guess our arms wouldn't be 3 feet. Our arms would be like 1.5 feet long. So how are we even supposed to do that? It would be probably a 1 foot rule. That's probably what the rule was. 1 foot rule, not the 3 feet rule. Yeah, so. Oh, you gotta love a fire, you know. I hope that that'd be great. You know, an ideal fan, what they would do is they would have, if you have a fire pit in your house, or maybe you have an electric fire pit in your house, you sit in front of that with a beer, and you watch, and you sit and you talk with me. Essentially, it's just me talking, right? But I honestly, whenever I watch podcasts, I honestly can't believe how much when you connect fully with a person like this and you're just watching them talk and you wait when they wait and you're able to give them 30 seconds to collect their thoughts, it's so much more of a genuine exchange in terms of the information and the relationship in general. Really, it's better than all other forms. Like, it's not debatable. It's not debatable, in my opinion. Again, but that's just my opinion. I've been playing fucking RuneScape again. That's probably why I've been getting so nostalgic, because I've been playing a lot of RuneScape, which is a weird game on the internet. So, where you basically train stats, and it's like kind of like World of Warcraft, but a little bit more detailed and a little bit more numerically oriented for the OCD mathematical thinker, if you will. A lot of work. Basically, it's the most arduous video game you've probably ever seen in your life. No, I mean, World of Warcraft, they say World of Warcraft has more, but it depends, you know. There's no endpoint to RuneScape. If you don't want there to be an endpoint, there's no endpoint. Yeah, you know, I'm also fucking pissed that I can't play hockey. Like, it's February right now, and I should be playing hockey. I'm fat. I'm basically fat. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. You go to the outdoor rink, there's no fucking nets. All right. Man, we're almost we're at 45 minutes. Thanks for listening, everybody. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you listening. I feel like I've been rushing a little bit today. It's because I was trying to prove a point that I can keep attention. It's like, I think the reason I was rushing a bit today and maybe just kind of stuttering was because I'm trying to be, I was a little rattled. And I'm trying to be fucking maybe more short attention span oriented, because the chirps rattled me. Yeah. I'm sure that this is going to result in more chirps now that I'm showing my weak spot. I really do think that podcasts are, like, if you're a comedian, if you're somebody who is refining your speech and trying to be somebody who is like a new-aged internet preacher, if you will, but isn't as pretentious or narcissistic as a vlogger. Oh, I think we got somebody coming to the studio. I hear footsteps, but I think they're afraid to come in. Hey! What is that? I guess somebody around the old complex. They're trying not to interrupt the show, I guess. So Joe Biden, he's doing nothing. What else? You know, it's just politics is boring ultimately. Still, but I'm just gonna repeat my old message, which is just be in the middle. They're both crazy on either side, you know. I heard a funny joke the other day. I can't remember where I heard it. It was Santino. Andrew Santino said this on one of his podcasts, Whiskey Ginger. He says, there's the people on the left who are over there thinking that they're right with all their morals, and there's the people on the right who are thinking they're right with all their economics, if you will, of their morality. They think their morality is based in economics, and the left's morality is based in social connection, if you will. And then there's all of us in the middle who are just wondering when the shooting's going to start. That was what he said, and it's like it's true, and I don't think masks are helping that. Like, if you have a city that has 1 billion people, like, you know, India or certain places in wherever, Mexico, then, you know, you can have masks and have it be the norm. But what the heck is happening? I think this is the internet, right? That's causing people who don't understand health to have all these fears. It's like everybody is. It's like hypochondria has become mass. It's like we're having a zombie apocalypse of hypochondria. So yeah, fucking beat that. So right there, stand up like that. So that would be a bit right there that I would take now, and I would say that on stage, and I'd make 30 seconds about that, right? So this, you want to tell me that I'm not a comedian? This right now, I'm farming the fucking fields of comedy. This is what creates comedy, and it's also being published. Don't be fucking jealous because you don't have a studio. I built the fucking studio with my bare hands. So anyway, sorry, this is controversial. I didn't mean to get antagonistic like this. So Anyway, build your own fucking studio. If you can't figure out podcasting, it's called an RSS feed. Fucking get one. Like... Apple juice. It's really sugary. It gives me a lot of energy. It's from McDonald's. I got a bacon and egg combo today because they had a coupon. How can you beat that? Like, I can make an egg sandwich real easily on myself on the fryer. I like to put my bread right in the frying pan with butter, so it's kind of like a grilled cheese and egg sandwich, really, but it's pretty good. I'm a good cook, but you can't beat going to an already cheap fast food place, using a coupon, and getting like a full breakfast for $3.99 with an apple juice. You can't beat that. So anyway, my fire's kind of dying. I don't really feel like stoking it. We're at about an hour. I'm going to call it on episode 25. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope... What do I hope? I hope that everybody starts to see... I hope everybody survives with their jobs. I hope that everybody starts to see cases in coronavirus as good things and not bad things. Because I see that as the primary piece of misinformation right now that's going on with corona, is that cases are only bad if you're fucking 75 plus and almost dead. Those are cases. They should be counting, like ICUs are. We should only know, hey, there's 19 people in the ICU right now. That's the only number we should be keeping track of. Cases we shouldn't even be keeping track of, because that's what the more cases the better. That's what shows that more people are immune to the fucking shit, and we don't need to pay for vaccines for them. So anyway, corona's hopefully almost fucking over. Anyway, everything's still going. The world's still turning. That's the thing. I'm not making out to be too much. The world's still turning. Everything's fine. A bunch of people have no connection to this. A bunch of young people are making a ton of money by getting like COVID payments and pretending that they're impacted by the shit. So it's good. There's a bunch of aspects that are good, as I've stated in other episodes, like with how the little guy is getting these payments from the federal government, which is always good. When the federal government gives money back to the people, it's always good. So I like Corona from that perspective. So that's what I mean, right? I'm not anti-Corona. I'm anti kind of stupidity, like people fighting about mask wearing and being able to say, hey, pull your mask over your nose and all that kind of stuff. I'm anti that. I'm anti dickheads having the right to be dickheads. Okay? So thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was episode 25 of Canadian Talk with Stephan, and I'll see you again. We got lots more. We're gonna be here every week from now on. Even though I'm gonna be making furniture, hit me up if you want some furniture. I'm still gonna be making time for the pod though. All right. See you later.
Thanks for listening, and any questions or concerns for the show, as well as voice recordings and voice messages that you'd like us to listen to, or advertisement inquiries, please forward those along to CanadianTalkWithStephan@gmail.com. Thanks. We also have a website, Stephanjackson.ca, where you can find a back catalog of all our episodes. And we're also on YouTube, where you can find the video versions.
Canadian Talk.